and look at the information based on the 5 centers, which are the course and grounds operation, the learning center or the driving range, it's been referred as both, the building itself, the banquets, and then the cafe. And we broke it out into those 5 centers as opposed to leaving it all together as one operation, just to create some flexibility in the chart of accounts, because I think we're all very uncertain on how this operation is going to evolve. So we set it up that way, trying to make it flexible as we move on. The report presentation, though, to you at this point is summarized. It is all 5 operations together. And fees and charges are, if you think about really line items for golf operations, so the fees and charges include things like the greens fees, the outing fees, the range buckets, that fee, and then basic daily fees. Rentals relate to renting the course or the building, and then merchandising includes the banquet service, the cafe, and the inventory, because we account for the building rental and the banquet food service separately, and merchandising includes that food service. And then the contractual services include the expenditures related to the management company's staff, as well as the management fees, and then your traditional type of contractual services that they might have for copiers, and I'm trying to think of some other things, maybe pest control, I'm trying to remember what else was that. Just your general operation, garbage, yeah, all of those are in there as well. The rest of them are pretty self-explanatory. The insurance is just property insurance. And then materials and supplies are, again, the materials that they need, the supplies they need to maintain the course, as well as the building and the driving range. And then the cost of goods sold relate to the, back to the merchandising, so with the inventory and then the food service. That's kind of a little explanation on what this report looks like. Again, you'll see it every month, and it will be a month behind. I think Dan is going to talk about the operation a little more than I am, and some of the staffing and operational changes that we've implemented there. Any questions?
So are we going to be breaking this out into the 5 components that you previously indicated?
If you would like me to, I would. I just presented it this way to begin with because I wasn't sure how detailed the board wanted to go with this. It's not difficult to do it. It would be, 5 more pages in your report. I don't know if it's really necessary.
Why don't we try this for the next meeting? Let's see what it looks like, and then we can decide whether or not we need that level of detail.
I'll be glad to do that.
Okay. Any objections from the other board members?
No, in fact, I was going to ask to get detail, because I would personally think we'd like to see banquets.
Okay.
I mean, basically all of the items of income broken out individually. Banquets, card rental, whatever we do, so that we can really understand the operations.
Okay. That's it's easy to do.
Would
you like a summary sheet to top it off as well?
Sure.
Okay.
That'd be very useful.
I'll be very glad to do that.
Commissioner Bernstein.
I just have a couple of questions. Going forward, obviously, I mean, you're going to provide the notes, but if for some reason, I'm sure you'll do this anyways, but if there's a material change between what we've budgeted and what actually occurs, I'm concerned about the losses, so to speak. If the losses turn more than we anticipated, that you highlight that, let us know going forward. I'm sure you're going to do that anyway, but just want to highlight that. The second is, you don't have to answer this question, maybe for Liza, with regard to insurance. Is this property covered under Derma?
Yes.
Okay, so do we pay insurance, and this is property insurance, do we pay insurance for our other facilities? So we haven't set, like for this building, for example, we have insurance on this building?
Yes.
So Derma doesn't cover that?
No, Pederma, that's all of our insurance falls under Pederma.
So the insurance, the line item for insurance, is that going to Pederma, or do we have a separate insurance policy for that building?
Where's Dan?
Yeah, We actually have a separate insurance policy for that building,
And
the country club.
And why is that?
I'm not prepared, I don't have the actual insurance breakdowns, but out of our entire coverage, there was a particular insurance that Purdue didn't require, that required Kemper to go off and get the insurance themselves. They did the same thing with the city of Highland Park.
Okay. Well, I guess
Wait, if Kemper got the policy,
you're the insurance guy.
Yeah.
why are we buying a policy?
Well, because we fund Kemper.
Oh, yeah, Kemper purchased a policy on our behalf.
Right.
It's our expense.
Why don't we do it through Pederma?
Because Pederma
They didn't offer it?
Yeah, they didn't have that type of coverage. And the types of coverage that Pederma did have, we obviously took advantage of those.
We worked with Ansel Blink on all of this with Kemper's attorneys and our attorneys, and if you want more detail on what is and what was, we can provide that. We just don't have it
You know,
now.
my suggestion, since Brian has an expertise in this area, that will let Brian, if you don't mind, Brian, take a look at the insurance coverage, because I want to make sure that we're not paying for something twice.
Yeah, no, and that's why Ansel Blink was our chief reviewer,
Okay,
so.
okay. Just, Brian, if you can just review that, I appreciate
Give
it.
me the policy.
Okay. I think those were my questions. Thank you.
I have just a question. Where are we accounting for rent that we have to pay to the city?
Oh, that will be determined based on
Year end?
year end, yeah, if there is a profit or loss.
You don't pay rent unless there's a profit.
I just wanted to make sure.
And then it's a 50-50 split. Yeah, we're not paying anything in anticipation or anything like that, no.
Okay.
That'll be reconciled at the end.
And looking at the numbers, we wouldn't pay this month anyhow.
Well,
So-
yeah, you have to, this is January, February, and March.
Right, no, I
Yeah.
understand,
Yeah.
I think to answer
It
your
was
question,
more-
Barney, I think it's done on an annual basis rather than a monthly basis.
Right, it is.
So at the end of the year, they'll do a reconciliation, and, you know, based on if we're operating at a profit there, then we'll have to write a check.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
Otherwise, we don't.
Right.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that brings us to new business. First item will be our golf update, since we're on the topic of our country club.
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence, good to see you, sir.
Yes, nice to see you as well. Good evening.
Good evening.
So the purpose of my presentation is just to kind of give a state of the golf for both Sunset Valley as well as the country club. So I'll start with Sunset Valley first. And just to go through some of the numbers here. When we break down our numbers at the course in terms of rounds, we have two categories. One is pass holder rounds. The other is green fee players, which means anybody who's going to pay a round. So in regard to the pass holders, we had roughly 1,500 rounds as of yesterday. That's a 6% decrease from last year. In green fee players, we had about 3,200 rounds, which is an increase of 12% from last year, which brings our total rounds to about 4,700. And that's an increase of 6% from last year. Now we can attribute that to the good weather that we had in March and April. May was not such a good month. We had lots of rain days, and as you know with golf, anytime there's rain in the forecast, golfers just don't come out because they don't want to be out in the rain. So we did have a slight decrease in May, but overall we're up 6% with rounds. So just to talk a little bit about marketing efforts, at the beginning of the year, actually prior to 2015, staff puts together a business plan for the facility, and we work hand in hand with the marketing and communications department here. And basically, we outline every month and exactly what we're going to do from a marketing and promotional standpoint. In 2015, we had a pretty aggressive plan. I'm not going to go through the entire plan, but just to name a few, we had a 3-week advertisement with the landmark newspapers, and that campaign included front page promotional coverage for North Shore communities. We also advertised in the Chicago District Golf Association in all their publications that go to surrounding golf courses. They put out a little pamphlet, as well as on their website. We advertised with the Illinois Golfers Association, Red Eye, Facebook, the district's website, and then through Park District to Highland Park newsletters. Golf staff ran free golf clinics and a free golf swing analysis in the month of May to try and spark up program business. We have promotional deals including utilizing monthly e-blasts. We've got 4,700 users on our e-blast, in our e-blast system, and all of these 4,700 users are all golfers, so it's direct promotions. We also use Golf Now, Groupon, Living Social, Travel Zoo, and Amazon Local. So Travel Zoo and Amazon Local, if you're not familiar with those, are very similar to Groupon deals. And we've strategically placed all of those deals throughout the year so that they're not all at the same time. The email and promotional efforts that we do, we do them through dynamic pricing and T-sheet space utilization. And so what I mean by that is golf staff will take a look at their T-sheets, and during the dead times throughout the day, we will throw out a promotion and or a fee decrease for that day to try and get people to come in to the golf course, and we found that that's worked pretty good. And then just to give you some numbers, our spring promotion with Groupon was sent out in April, and we had roughly 520 details that were sold that estimate about $18,000 in net revenue. So again, all of those times that are sold through Groupon are all what we would consider dead times on the tee sheet. So when staff looks at the grid and sees how many people are playing golf at any given time, we run reports based off of, dead times could be from 1 to 4. So we'll do a Groupon for that time just to fill the tee sheet and get players out onto the golf course. So maintenance updates, we believe that the course conditions are and have been pretty good, especially as compared to last year, 2014. So we had no snow mold this year due to the mild winter temperatures, as well as some preventative maintenance that our golf staff did in the off season. This is the peak time for grass growth here in the Midwest, so course staff is really battling keeping up with mowing right now, and with all the rain that we've had, the grass mows and we cut and we cut. An update on the ash borer, we had 87 trees that were removed at Sunset Valley Golf Course. Those were all done in-house after the season ended last year up until this year. 21 trees were removed by the contractors, and those trees are just too big for us to do in-house, so we contract out. Unfortunately, we've got another 120 trees that have to come down at Sunset Valley. So after this season, staff will be taking on, we'll be re-tagging the trees to identify which ones we can take down in-house versus what we have to contract with. The majority of trees, however, those are out of play. So hopefully that makes it a little bit better. As a result of the ash borer tree removal, we have stump holes because you have to remove the actual tree stumps. So the holes are there. The staff has pretty much put the dirt down and they're ready for sodding, so that'll be happening in the next couple of weeks. Our flowers for beautification of the course have been delivered, and we plan on planting those in the next couple of weeks. And then lastly, we had new directional signs that were created. We worked in conjunction with, again, the marketing and communications department. They did a real nice job on the look of the signs. They're black and gold. They're real sharp. If you haven't seen them, they were just put out this weekend. So it's around the bag drop, and it points direction for golfers as they come off holes. So that was a nice addition to the course. So that's the report with Sunset Valley. Onto the country club. Again, these numbers were through yesterday, Memorial Day. They have one big category, and that's total rounds. To date, they're at about 4,500 total rounds, which is slightly less than Sunset Valley. However, their increase from last year is bigger. They're at about a 28% increase in rounds played. And the reason for that is mainly because they opened their course earlier with Sunset Valley. They normally wouldn't open as early as they did this year, but since Sunset Valley opened and the country club is under our watch, we had them open as well. The only reason they could do that is because of the mild temperatures in the winter, so we had some March play, and April was beautiful, and May has been okay minus the rain. So, so their rounds are up, which is great. Marketing efforts, they do not have as aggressive as approach as Sunset Valley does, but they do email blasts as well to the Kemper database, as well as to the Highland Park Country Club database, and they've got about 11,500 direct emails. So they do that. They also use TravelZoo, Golf Now, Easy Links, and they're doing a Groupon deal, I think in the next couple weeks to spark play. All of their email marketing efforts are done very similar to Sunset Valley, and I would vouch to say that just about every course in the Chicagoland area and elsewhere does dynamic pricing and space utilization marketing. So when they're able to identify slow spots, we're marketing to try and get people to come out to the course. Maintenance update, you just hear the same things. The mild winter has led to what they're calling superior golf conditions at their course based off of customer feedback. They had very little winter kill this year. They did have a little bit of snow mold, but it was only on the banks of the greens. And it was taken care of pretty quickly because of the nice weather. Ash borer at the country club, they've taken down 35 trees so far in 2015, and they plan on removing 109 trees that are coming down. Staff is cutting them down right now at a rate of about 2 to 3 per week during their peak season. Once the peak goes down in September, they'll start to bring down more trees. They've got about 15 trees that are going to require a contractor to remove due to size. And then they've got some planks that need to be replaced on their bridges, so staff is going to be doing that in-house again within the next 2 or 3 weeks in June here. And then finally, over at that site, the Learning Center, the total revenue is below the budgeted amount for 2015, but it's identical to where they were at in 2014. So range is about the same as 2014. They were expecting more, they just haven't had that yet. And then lastly, at the range, the golf practice is continuing to offer all of their programs. And unlike previous years, the golf practice is working with the Park District of Highland Park and our golf team to make sure that programs are being offered that aren't in competition. So that's a positive from the Learning Center. That's my report for the golf courses. I'm happy to answer any questions if I can for you.
2 quick questions. One is, how is losing Brian Green going to affect us when the season started, and have we replaced him, and what are we doing to replace him?
Sure. Well, I'll answer what we're doing to replace them is we have ads out on all the local job websites that pertain to golf course superintendents, both at a Midwest level as well as a national level. So the job is posted, the job is advertised, so the search is on, and we hope to get his position replaced as soon as we can. How it will impact us, we've got a great staff at Sunset Valley. We're very, very confident in the staff that we have there right now. Brian holds a lot of knowledge, which will certainly be missed, but I'm pretty confident that the staff over there understands the program in which we've been running, the preventative program that we've been running at the golf course for 38 years, or however long Brian has been with us. So I think we'll be okay.
Was there a second in charge who's taken over there?
We do have an assistant superintendent. His name is Harry, and he's prepared to take on additional responsibilities when Brian is gone throughout the search. Yes.
When is Brian's last day?
June 19th.
Can we find someone in season?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah, we've already received several resumes for the position.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions from the board?
I just have an anecdotal comment. I was at the course a couple weeks ago on a Saturday, late in the Saturday afternoon, and I met some golfers from the west suburbs who took advantage of one of our Groupons. But for the Groupon, they would not venture out to Sunset Valley. And I met them going in and then also coming out, and again, this is just anecdotal, but they really enjoyed their experience there. and they said they intend on coming back regardless if there's a group hunt or not. So these services do provide a value. Not only do they create revenue during downtime, but also it increases our market share and also, hopefully also increases the size of our database. We're getting, all these people are also getting our email blast, so hopefully they will come back and bring friends and utilize our beautiful course.
And one thing we found is that, and like I reported previously, is when those Groupon deals come through, it's our initiative to gather the information, the customer information, emails. We're finding that now through our direct marketing efforts. So for example, we had a Memorial Day special, we also had a Mother's Day special. And so the staff prepared a promotion, I think it was twilight rates for one of those weekends. Within the click of the button, when that email went out to our user database, the phones rang off the hook. So people are actually paying attention to their emails, so it's working. Yep.
And this is the new website that we installed at the end of last year that's really paying dividends for us going forward.
What kind of feedback are we getting on the new food vendor at Sunset?
Both. We've heard ups and downs. If we hear anything that's down, any complaints or anything, then we take care of it through a meeting and make sure that it's better. But we've also heard really good comments that some food was great. It just depends on the customer.
And who's the vendor at Hidden Creek this summer?
The same as Organic Life does Rosewood Beach, Hidden Creek, and Sunset Valley.
Are they going to have the same type of menu, or what kind of menu are they going to have at Hidden Creek? We know.
Slightly different, but ultimately it's your burgers, hot dogs.
Whole food.
Yeah. How long's the contract with them?
1 or 3?
3 years.
3. The other thing, I was at the course yesterday and asked Rob the same question that you just asked about the food vendor, and he said one thing, you'll notice off the bat that the menu is a little more limited than what we've seen in the past, but that as they will make anything. So we just need to educate our public a little bit that there is more variety than you see. They've just chosen to show a smaller menu, but they're very flexible in terms of working with, or very accommodating in terms of working with needs.
Are we going to have I'm being politically correct here, are we going to have a cart person going around the course?
Yes.
This year?
Yes.
Okay. I haven't noticed
It
that.
actually kicks in after Memorial Day
Okay.
per the contract.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the cart goes around the course with drinks and things, and they sell to golfers so they have to come in and buy. I just haven't seen I've been out there a couple of times, but I haven't seen the cart or anybody out there yet. So
The course is in great shape.
yeah.
Any other comments on golf? Next item is our summer program updates.
So we will have Chris Malusik and Fiore. I know, I butchered his last name.
Just say Chris.
Chris,
We all know.
to provide a recreation report for you this evening.
Thanks, Liza. Hi, everyone. So we are in full swing with our final preparations for summer camps, which starts on June 17th. We currently have 1,024 campers signed up. At this day last year, we had 960, so we're in great shape with our numbers. We just sent out our camp mailings last week, and that we usually see a surge in registration after the neighbors start talking and people realize camp really is right around the corner. So in addition to, included in those campers, we have 33 campers who will be taking advantage of our NSSRA partnership to receive an inclusive camp experience. So we're really excited that they chose us for that experience. And then with our registrations, of course, comes preparation through staffing. We have a really great staff this year. 60% of our team is actually returning this year, which is great. We did lose some of our staff to internships and some really great job opportunities, which is always a little bit bittersweet for us, but we do have a lot of staff who were previous campers or CITs of ours, so we're really confident in our team. June 12th begins our 3-day in-service training, We do an interactive kind of training with our staff to sort of lead by example. We step out of our comfort zones to encourage our staff, and that trickles down to our campers to encourage them to build self-confidence and really take advantage of everything we have to offer. So we will be going over pool and beach safety, first aid, behavior management, and just setting some clear expectations and providing our campers with all the tools they need for a successful summer. And then in addition to our staffing, we have a lot of curriculum updates this summer, which we're really excited about. Specifically, this is our debut year for Spotlighters, which is formerly known as Sweatshop. So in addition to their new name, they have new workshops, and they're also putting together for the first time their own production, which is going to be great. Our sports camp got all new branding. They also got new naming, including our youngest sports camp is Little Giants, then they go up to junior varsity, and then varsity is their oldest sports camp. So these camps are going to have a lot of focus on skill development, learning how to play the game, but also, of course, we always have a huge emphasis on sportsmanship and self-confidence and self-growth. We also made some updates to our preschool camp, Camp Sunshine. This camp, we adjusted the pickup and drop-off time. We realized a lot of our Camp Sunshine campers have siblings in other camps, so starting every camp at the exact same time wasn't ideal for them. So Camp Sunshine will start and end 15 minutes later to help out those parents with logistics. And we also took into consideration some feedback we got last year. We implemented what we are calling Camp Sunrise, which is before care for our Camp Sunshine kids. And then based on additional feedback, we did some updates to our CIT program, which we're really excited about. Last year, our CITs had training on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which meant they alternated days they were with their campers. This year, they will have trainings on Mondays and Fridays, and then have consecutive days on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays to kind of really have a better opportunity to foster relationships and demonstrate their leadership skills. They will also be doing a lot of teamwork activities. They're having sailing lessons provided to them by the North Shore Yacht Club. They're going to be trying out different things like rock climbing, and of course going to Highland Nature Center's teens course, which we're really excited about. One of our favorite things we did last summer was our all camp event. We surprised our campers. They pretty much, we put them on a bus, they didn't know where they were going, and they showed up here, and we had a festival for them for the last day of camp. This year we're doing something similar. It's an all-camp event called the Midsummer Sizzle. So of course you can tell by the name it's halfway through camp this year, so that way our first session campers get to enjoy it just as much. It will be at Sunset Woods Park this year, a little bit more of an ideal location, and we will have updated rides and entertainment and things like that. And then really, of course, as you guys know above all, we are so excited to show them Rosewood for the first time. They're gonna absolutely love it. Staff is gonna love that there's bathrooms and space and just everything they need down there. Hidden Creek Aqua Park Splash Pad is gonna add a lot to our camps as well. We really encourage water safety. We want everyone to get in the pool, but it's just gonna enhance the experience for everyone. And we have a lot of camps taking advantage of the team sports at Highland Nature Center, whereas in the past we had to go elsewhere. So it's gonna add a lot to our camps, and we're really looking forward to it. And then Chris is gonna update us on what we have going on with athletics this summer.
How are y'all doing? So as I've come to learn in my short time here at the Park District, the construction of Legends Ballpark here at Westridge Park kind of kicks off our summer baseball season. And I'm happy to say with Mother Nature's cooperation, this Wednesday will be no different. So the ballpark is scheduled to be constructed, and opening day for the majority of our programs housed at Legends Ballpark is next week. For those of you that don't know what Legends Ballpark is, it's a scaled back 4-field complex in which participants of all ages, pre-K through 2nd grade, can feel like they're in the big leagues. And that's something we're very excited about. The 3 main programs that are housed at Legends Ballpark, first and foremost, is our Parent Taught T-Ball program. That program is designed to not only teach the youngsters, ages 2 through 4, but also the parents about baseball skill sets, sportsmanship, things of that sort that will help them as they progress, hopefully through their baseball careers, if you will. Currently, we have 64 participants registered in our parent taught T-ball, which is about 15 more than we did last year, which is exciting for me as someone with a passion for the game, because that means it's growing at the youth levels here in Highland Park. The second program is Sandlot Sluggers. Sandlot Sluggers is our pre-K and kindergarten programs. There we incorporate a little bit of T-ball, if you will, as well as coach pitch. So we start to develop hand-eye coordination, things of that sort, and we divide the teams up into big league names. So we're going to have Cubs, White Sox, Marlins, etc. The third and final program there is our Little Sluggers program, which is our first and second graders. There we take them out of the T-ball aspect and that developmental process, and now we go into a coach pitch type environment, where the children are allowed to now hit real pitching, if you will, which is integral in the developmental process. Through the success of those programs, as I've learned, carries into the success of our AA program. Our AA is our boys' second grade baseball program, which also gets kicked off next week. Because of the small fields at Legends Ballpark, we're not able to actually house that program there. However, I'm happy to say that we are at 55 participants for that program, and that once again is higher than what we did last season. In total, with all four of those programs that I did mention, we're at 226 participants currently. Last year, in total, we were at 251. And I can say that as recently as 3 hours ago, I'm still getting phone calls and emails about parents wanting to sign up their children for Sandlot Sluggers, Little Sluggers, parent taught T-ball, whatever the case may be. I'm very excited about where we're at with baseball as a whole in the athletics department. And if you have any questions up there.
Excellent presentations from both. Questions from the board? Okay. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you. That brings us to our director's report. Since you started the gig, you want to do it?
Sure, although I wouldn't mind having Kathy Fiore give a report. She has a lot of enthusiasm.
I mean, doesn't it sound like fun?
Yeah.
Kathy,
I think
you
that's
say
you.
sounds like fun.
It's
You should help with financing. You would really
It brings it down.
Unfortunately, we're in the lab, but no, really, your passion for the Hampton Art programs really shows.
Thank you.
And I will say too, Chris has a lot of passion for baseball, so it's all working. And we all have different roles, and that's how it all works. So out of the gate, clearly first and foremost, Rosewood Beach opens next Saturday for the public, of which we are extremely excited. And
Did we do
really,
something at Rosewood?
would you like to talk about it? But we are really, really excited to finally debut this project that has taken many, many years. And as Kathy with the camp counselors and other staff, we have been working with training lifeguards, maintenance staff, attendants, so that we have everyone queued up and ready to go, because this will be an important debut in terms of customer service, that we traditionally provide good customer service and clean facilities and keeping our staff on top with that. But as far as next Saturday specifically goes, we'll be having a grand opening between 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock, where staff will be giving tours. We'll have some giveaways, free ice cream, of course, and then there will be yoga demonstrations, and because we will be moving some yoga classes down there for early morning. And then at 11:15, we will have a brief rededication ribbon cutting for those who are there to enjoy. So we hope that the weather cooperates with us. And speaking of cooperation, I also want to note that we've been working closely with the City of Highland Park, particularly the police department, in terms of providing secure and safe facilities along with PDERMA, just because the layout of the beach, well, because we actually have beach and facilities, it poses some new challenges for us. So we are doing everything that we can to ensure that we are providing a secure and safe area for our public to enjoy. So we are genuinely looking forward to the opening, and we have received good publicity in terms of Rosewood going forward. So we will provide monthly reports on how attendance and operations are going. And I'm sure we will see some of you there, maybe all of you more often than you're used to coming to the beach, because you actually have something that you can truly come and enjoy. So, and I just want to, at this point, just tip my cap to all of our staff, and especially Rick, who's been leading the project management of this, because it's taken us all to make this happen, board, architects, task force, everyone, and we are this close to the finish line now, and so we will have it ready to go. We're having a couple of staff days down at the beach to just sort of help with some final touches. As I like to say, it's an all hands on deck approach, and I think that we are really excited, and it really is something special. So
hopefully everybody saw the article in the Tribune this weekend, some very nice press coverage. And I think we all agree that this experience has taught us to answer the question, how hard could it be to build a beach?
So, not to be outdone, on Saturday, we had the grand opening of the splash pad at Hidden Creek, and the weather cooperated, and we ended up having somewhere between 100 and 125 families there at the start, and it was kind of fun to see everybody come in, and kids were pointing out, oh, the slides were painted, and look at this and look at that, and instead of having your traditional ribbon cutting, we had a towel cutting, and so that we had that right outside the gate, and then Lori was the MC for that, and the towel was cut, and the gate was open, and the kids went in, and the reviews we are getting, granted the weather was nice on Saturday, not so nice on Sunday, and we actually had people there yesterday, but not one person has said, what'd you do with the sand play area? So that's a good thing. So I think that was something that we will continue to get great reviews on. Their attendance picks up, and little kids are just going to love it. So
Big kids too.
Yeah.
You enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it.
Good.
Yeah. Well, and for the big kids too, the slides were resurfaced, the slides were repainted. So I think one of the comments that came out of Saturday was that it almost looks like a new water park. And the colors really pop, and the slides are a little faster.
That's what I heard. I did hear that.
Yes,
by the way.
yes, so if you want to have a little adventure, give it a go.
They resurfaced.
So going a little bit backwards in time, a couple of events.
While we're still on that, yeah, really, Nick, Julie, Dan, Kathy, all of you who worked on the splash pad, it just looks phenomenal. But more than that, it really was, the whole pool looked brand new, like it got a facelift. And one of the, concerns after the fact was for, if you would just look at the splash pad and then think, ooh, this is brand new, and then we have this old pool. It did not look like, it looked like it was one pool. Not here's the new area, here's our old pool. It just had such a fresh look. The colors, it just, everything about it was just done so well. So thank you for all your work. It has not been an easy project, but it was well worth it. And I got to tell you, when we opened, we actually cut the towels. That sounds so wasteful, Liza, and dangerous. I don't cut a towel, but it was even the presentation was so thoughtfully executed, where there was a rubber band and we took it out, and Dan and I walked over and we could hear the water coming up. So at the right moment when we undid it, the towels, the water just went off, and all the kids were cheering. It was just such a wonderful day, and the weather cooperated, but it was just a really great job. So good job. Thank you for that.
Well, also the board's thanks to you for not only being the MC for the event, but for helping supervise the project with Commissioner Kaplan. You did an extraordinary job in the face of fierce opposition from me. So, congratulations.
And that frog thing that kids loved going under that frog. Froggy, what was it called?
Oh, I
Remember we had a name for it?
Froggo.
Froggo. Kids loved Froggo.
And wherever you're standing in the park, it looks like Froggo's looking at you. So.
Yeah.
It is funny, but yeah. And so a couple of other events that took place.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
So I'm actually looking at your report. on the Hidden Creek Early Bird memberships. That have gone down from 2013 to 2015 by 113. Are those the only memberships we're selling?
No, that's just taking advantage of the early bird discount, which if the weather's really nice,
Okay.
your sales are sort of dictated by that. But we always offer a period, it's like 10 days, I think, where we have a discount.
It's actually, we did a couple of periods. We did it at the end of last year.
Oh, right.
Labor Day weekend, we offered passes for next year. We did something else in a holiday package as well, and then we did something in March. So it was
where are we
about-
with overall numbers for the Aqua Park? Sorry,
well,
Hidden Creek, yeah.
yeah, I haven't run the numbers, but it did increase from Memorial Day weekend because we did have a lot of people who enrolled in memberships
Okay,
on
good.
Saturday.
And next month's report will provide you
All right, and this
with
just
the
had the early bird,
comparisons,
and it had such
yeah.
a discrepancy there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How's the water temperature?
82,
I was in it.
every day,
Right.
Very
all
nice.
hours. So,
Let's
so
keep it there.
we will, especially with our new equipment that allows us to do that. Going backwards in time, last weekend, we had the Centennial Ice Show, which once again proved to be a tremendous success. I think everyone enjoys seeing all the kids skate, and the one thing that I will definitely note is that we had one number that was all boys, and we have never, ever had a number that was all boys.
Thank
Can you
Jason
say
Brown.
Jason Brown? Exactly. So definitely more young boys in the program, and all in all, always a cute event, and congratulations to the staff there. So you take the ice show, and now you're on a stage in a school, and you have the dance show, which was held the week before the ice show, which is really, it's an ice show in your dance shoes. So that was another great event, and just a couple of upcoming things. I do want to note, Kathy had alluded to Rosewood and the Interpretive Center in terms of early childhood programming. We are on June 20th, we will be having an open house for the Monarchs and Minnow program, which will be our early childhood environmental learning program that we'll be running in the fall. Kathy actually oversees that, she didn't mention it, my error. And then also on June 30th, I just want to remind everyone that we will be having our open house for Greenprint at the Highland Park Country Club from 7 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Just two more things that I want to note. One is when Dan commented about the keeping up with the grass growth at Sunset Valley, we're also having this issue in our parks. Everyone knows that May is dandelion season, and the grass grows so fast that we can cut a park, and a couple of days later, you will think your park was not cut. The dandelions will soon be gone, and we've got crews out supporting our landscape contractors to help keep up with the growth, so that should stabilize soon. And last but not least, another positive for the Park District is that the Highland Park Community Foundation is committing $20,000 to the Park District for the Rosewood Park, the reflecting pool, and landscape restoration planning for the upper park at Rosewood, because you know that pond that's up there, that was not a part of the project, but this foundation is giving us money to determine what it will cost for us to restore it to its original state.
What foundation is that?
It's the Highland Park Community Foundation. Ironically, Chairman Fairman is a member of that foundation with some of the other volunteer work that he does. But we will have representatives from this group coming to our meeting, our regular meeting in June, for a check presentation. And it's been great working with them. And that is my report.
Questions from the board?
Well, I just wanted to add to the Dancing Through the Decades performance that you mentioned. Jessie Blumberg recently took over that role that Megan had had for so many years, and it was outstanding. We received a lot of compliments from the parents saying, wow, this was a really great production. They called it a production because every little detail, whether with the lighting, there was a sound system. I mean, it was really just out of this world. It was, you know, sometimes people tend to think that you need to go to private camps and private performances. And, you know, the Park District definitely was at a was at quite a level this year, so it was just wonderful to just watch. They had adult dance, isn't it come out wrong, adult dancers? Yeah,
Adult participants.
adult participants who did a wonderful, I mean, just to show, these were, some of them were parents of these children, and they just loved to dance, and they even incorporated that number, so you had everything from, you know, little 3-year-olds. We had the youngest ballerinas I think we've had yet, and they were just adorable, and our ballet dancers are outstanding. I mean, it's a testament to our programs, because it was just a wonderful performance, and I enjoyed it. I don't even have any dancers in mine. I just really enjoyed seeing just how creative and the theme and just the talent that we have. So again, really great job to Jessie and all those who helped her.
Excellent, thank you. You want to give us a quick update on Park Avenue? There was an article also in the Trib talking about business as usual for 2015, as we all know.
Yes, it is business as usual at Park Avenue, which opened in early May, and unfortunately our weather hasn't been that conducive for boating events, but the Park Avenue operations is operating as it was back in 2012 and 13, before the water plant renovation. So I know that there has been a lot of discussion about whether or not Park Avenue would be open this summer. We are still working with the task force. In fact, the task force will be convening sometime in June, as we will be updating them. We're going to be having the engineering study done so that we can study traffic and determine what options we might have to provide this service in future years. So we'll have a better report at the end of the summer on what we can do in terms of the logistics with the secured perimeter fencing that the city is planning to install. So, and I know the Yacht Club is working hard to try and get boaters down. They had a pancake breakfast last weekend, and they'll be doing a lot of events this summer to try and continue to recruit boaters. So,
Excellent.
and the only other thing I did not comment when I talked about Rosewood, but you had mentioned Brian and Lori being the liaisons for the Hidden Creek project, and Barney Ruttenberg and Lori have been the liaisons on the Rosewood project, and I know they've spent a great deal of time at Rosewood and making sure that every detail is right. So I just want to thank all of you really for your support with all of this, because this is it's a big, everything we do seems to be a big undertaking, and we've got a great team from the staff and the board, so I consider myself lucky to be appointed the director with the people with whom I work. So, thank
Very
you.
nice with that. And just after that, I was down at Rosewood over the weekend just to see how things are progressing. And not only is it extraordinary, it's some of the subtle things that, unless you're involved in the project, you would not even appreciate. For example, when you sit on the benches or there's built-in shades and lounges and you look out at the horizon, it is well above rocks. So there's still that unobstructed horizontality, is a very significant part of the design. A lot of conversation went into that. It works remarkably well. The bridge design, all of it. There is brilliance and scope, and then there's genius in the detail. It is an extraordinary piece of work. So
I'm really looking forward to a dark night when we turn on the lights and the interpretive sunshine. It's going to be absolutely fascinating.
Looking forward to that. Should be a good summer. A lot to look forward to.
Lots to do.
And lots to do. All right. Any other questions or comments from the board? I think that completes our new business for the day. Any other conflicts before I open it to the public to address the board? Okay. Anybody from the public care to address the board, please stand. Identify yourself for the camera.
Okay, I'm Rick Heineman, 14.9 Glencoe Avenue.
Tell us your favorite color.
I just wanted to make some general comments about how well I think this board functions.
Would you like to sit over here?
Get him a drink. Can you give him a drink?
People
Speed up or something?
One of the things that happens with this particular board is people have their own interests. There's the boaters, there's the beach people, etc. So I think that that's primarily what the Park District is doing. But when you come to these meetings, you understand that there's really a huge number of individual projects that are going on, all of which require a lot of time and effort and care. And in addition, you have that huge project of trying to figure out what we're gonna be doing with our facilities over the long period. And I think that the public just really doesn't get how much is going on here. And I think that the point that needs to be made is it's done with quiet competence and efficiency and effectiveness. And I think that you really deserve to be commended for being able to do that. When I go to some of the meetings in the other groups, quiet is not like the city council and the boards of education. Quiet is not how I would describe it. There's a lot of turmoil, there's a lot of kind of strange stuff going on, and we just don't see that here. I mean, certainly there's differences of opinions, but the willingness to engage and be receptive to other people's ideas just is very important. And when I go to those meetings, when I hear people talk about the Park District, the comments are, oh, they're very cooperative, they'll talk to us, they listen, and they're really team players. And I just think that it's great, and we just wanted to commend the board for this.
Well, thank you.
I couldn't have said it any better.
I'm happy to come back every week and do this.
Well, it's your annual meeting.
Well, I just an observation on that point, and thank you very much for saying that. I mean, I think it's a testament to my fellow commissioners that notwithstanding everybody's individual interests and proclivities and whatever's going on in their individual lives, I think we all agree the reason why this works is that there is a shared vision, commitment for trying to figure out what really is in the best interest of the community as a whole, and not trying to make it about ourselves or our particular interests. We walk through that door, and we take that responsibility very seriously. A lot of the conversations that we have is what is the right thing for the community, not what is the right thing for us. And you can't do that with any one individual. It really needs a group and consensus to make that happen. That's why it's a real pleasure to get to work with this very special group of people. I appreciate your saying that, sincerely, I do. Any other comments that are in that vein, being great? Okay, any other comments generally? Okay. Thank you, thank you. All right, well, I think that concludes our business. Obviously, we will have a lot of activity in the upcoming weeks with road bid opening and camps and everything else, so I know we'll be in touch and be seeing much of each other as the weather gets warmer. But for now, if I could please get a motion to
Move to adjourn.
Second. We have a motion in the seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carried. We are adjourned at 7:15.
Thank you, everyone. Can I take this?